Hey guys, this is Kysen here, and today I'm going to show you how to build a very simple Minecraft 1.14 villager breeder. So I'm going to start by just showing you the design of this, which for many of you will be enough, but if you do want to see a step-by-step tutorial on how to build it, I'm going to go through that at the end as well. So you can see here what we've got is a 9x9 of dirt, and that is with a 1 block of water in the middle to fertilize all of that land so that crops can be planted, which at the moment I've just got carrots there. And then we have 4 farmer villagers in there who will automatically harvest this farm and replenish their food and also breed, which is obviously important. So basically, we can start this farm with just 2 villagers if we want, and then eventually get 4 in here for maximum efficiency. And we have the 4 composters placed in the corners like that, so that the villagers that we get into here will then turn into farmer villagers, which we need to happen. You can, as I say, start with just 2, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second, how you can trap them in here. But then basically we have a roof on top here to prevent any lightning or zombies or whatever getting in here and damaging our farm or our villagers. And of course for the new breeding mechanics we need beds, not doors, and that's why we have 6 beds placed around the top here like this. You could place more if you wanted to, that's just what I've got going on here for now. So if we step inside here, I'll show you a little bit better how all this works and how we can also trap villagers in here. So if you just start with 2 and you want to trap villagers, you can simply shut these trapdoors like this, and the villagers wait until they grow up, the baby villagers, and they will then be in here and they'll turn into farmers, of course, because they're composters. But when this is open on each side, basically the baby villagers can fit under here, but of course a normal player cannot, and they fall down into the water stream, which I'll show you in just a second, and they get carried off. We do have slabs on top of the composters as well. That's just to prevent any villagers or baby villagers from getting into the composters and getting stuck in there. So this is essentially how it works. I'll show you now the system of getting the villagers away from here, because you do need to get them 64 blocks or more away in order for the villager to the breeder to continue to work. So I've just got these water streams placed underneath the trapdoors like this, flowing off in a this way direction, stopped by signs so the villagers will fall down, and then we have this water system down the bottom here to push the villagers into the corner. Now I don't know if you've seen this before, but it's quite a neat little trick. Basically, an empty minecart will not be able to get up that hill. It'll just keep rocking back and forth like that. But when it's got a villager in it, it will be enough to get it up the hill because of the momentum. Then it comes down here, hits this detector rail, and you can put minecarts in there. You could also put chests on top of this full of minecarts if you wanted, so that it will keep self-replenishing. And I'll show you what I mean in just a second. So if we just chuck a villager in here like this, there we go. He will get picked up by this minecart through there and make it up the hill, which then spawns the next minecart in, ready for the next villager to go. At the moment I've just got them going into a hole, which is what we're testing. So that's how that works, and obviously that means then that the farm can just keep running, so the next villager will be picked up and taken on its way. So that's how it looks, and now I'll get into the actual step-by-step on how to build it. Okay, so the first thing you need is the 9x9 of dirt, and you do want to build that some way off the ground, just so the villagers can then be dropped and taken away. So starting with your 1 dirt, you just want to go 4 off in each direction, like this. And then basically once you've done that, you can just fill in the infills, and that will be your 9x9. So that will look like that. The next thing you want to do is make sure that it is encased. So you want 2 blocks high going around here like this. You can obviously put a block here as well if you want. Also, this doesn't have to be glass, but I'm just doing it this way for the sake of this tutorial so you guys can easily see what's going on inside. So that will then look like this. The next thing that you can do is go ahead and put the beds on top, and you can do them in any pattern that you want. I'm just keeping the corner blocks free at the moment because I want to place a roof on top of this. So say you want at least 6 beds to be going with this. You can place more if you want to. And then for me, I just placed fence posts around on the corners like this, with half slabs on top so that no mobs would spawn up there, but it would still protect our villagers, and then just fill that in the whole way around the farm. So if you're building this in survival mode, you may want to have like a little door or something so you can get back and forth for the work you need to do inside the farm, and also maybe to get the villagers in there. So what you want to do is find the dead center of the farm, which will be 4 blocks from each direction, and put a little water in there. We're also going to put a slab on top of that so nothing is going to get stuck inside there. Then we can go ahead and place the composters. We place them 1 block in from each corner, so 1 block, and there you go, diagonally on each side, and that's ready to go. Then we want to put 3 holes in here and 3 holes in here, so it will look like this with a 1 gap either side there. And now you're ready to hoe all of this land until it's ready to plant crops on. So with the land hoed, and while we're waiting for it all to fertilize, what we can do is go ahead and put slabs on top of the composters like this. And if you don't miss, and if you do miss twice, then what you'll need to do is grab your hoe and obviously re-hoe the land, because it'll turn it back to normal dirt. Let's place them on top there. The other thing is to place 3 slabs here and 3 slabs here to prevent the villagers from getting out. And then we can place our trapdoors, 3 there and 3 there. And that way the baby villagers will think they can walk across it, and they will just fall down into the water streams that we're going to build in a second. Then it's the case of obviously just planting all of your crops, and once you've planted them, you could of course bone meal them if you wanted to speed things up a bit, but it's not necessary because they will of course grow on their own. So we're going to get all of those planted in the farm. So now while we're waiting for our crops to grow, we can go ahead and make the water streams. So coming underneath here, you want to come down by 2, like this, across these 3 blocks, and then you want to come down again by 2 here, here, and here, and the same on the other side, like that. So then the baby villagers can fall down here and get caught like this. You have a little tray that you're going to build there like that, and we'll go right up to the dirt on this side, like that. And then we'll do the same on the other side as well. So again, building 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and then a line across here going right up to the dirt like that. Didn't need this one in here actually. And then underneath again, we just place that like that. So basically the water is going to bring them along here like this. And then you want to build the channels that go down. So simply building each of these down to the ground like this until you get right down to the floor. I'm going to do that on 4 sides. So that's 1, 2, 3, and this will be the 4th here, like this. And you want to do that, of course, on both sides. So once you've got those tunnels built, what you want to do now is go into here and place a sign there, and do the same on the other side. And then we'll place our glass back in. And then we're going to go ahead and place our water in here, and make sure we fill it in so it's only going down in this direction. Of course, we'll get stopped by the sign. We can do the same over on this side, of course. So we're going to place that just in there, and again block that off. So now the the baby villagers, I should say, will get taken into there, and they'll fall down this way like this. Now in here is where we can kind of make this into one. So you've got the 2 systems at the moment, basically turn it into a bit of one system. And the zombie villager, I don't know why I keep calling them zombies, they're going to come out in this direction basically, right? So we're going to build this up a little bit so we can see what we're doing there. And the next thing to do is actually to build around here like this, and just take that block there out, because what we're going to do is place our water in there, so that when the villagers fall, they hit flowing water straight away and start coming out in this direction. And we want to do the same over on this side as well. So again, it's about this block here. So we place the water, put the glass back around so nothing can get in. And there we go. When they fall down, they hit the water, so they don't take any damage, and they're immediately taken off in this direction. So the next thing to do is to set up the system that I had there. What we want to do is basically funnel them like this into a corner. So we're going to get rid of these 2 blocks here and build a block there and a block there. And you can see here the flow of the water is pushing them into this corner, which is exactly what we want. So we can take this off now and build this up a little bit so that it's high enough for the villagers to obviously fit in there, and then also keep them protected as well. And we'll have that like that. So that's kind of the system. That's how it's going to look. The only thing is, what you need to do is on this corner here, where they're getting pushed into, you actually are going to need this to be gone. And then these 2 blocks here, so this here and this here, you're going to need to be stone. For some reason, the trick that I showed you there doesn't work with glass. It needs to be a solid block. But that's basically how it's going to look. So to set up the rail system that I showed you over there, basically what you want is a powered rail here in the corner, and we'll get it facing this way. Then you want 1 normal rail, then we want to go a block, 2 blocks, and back down to 1. And that's where it's going to start going uphill, back downhill, and then in here, it can hit the detector rail before going off on its way and taking the villagers off to wherever it is that you want them to go. So we can power all of this, and also power this bit of rail right here. We can get a minecart down on the track there, and if you've done it right, you'll see that it's just going like this up and down the hill. So then what we want to do is come over to here and get rid of this block here, replace it with a dispenser. And we can run some redstone dust going from this detector rail here straight into the dispenser. And that way when the minecart has a villager in it, it will go over the hill, of course, it will come down here, send a signal in there, and we can get our next minecart in there ready to go, so the system will keep working. So then it's just a case of obviously waiting for your villagers to breed. Now, because we're in creative, I can show you right away how this will work. But basically, we put a villager in there, and he gets pushed into that corner, you get picked up by that one, off he goes on his way, and there's our next minecart ready to go for the next breeded villager that will come down here. Now, of course, you need to get your villagers into this farm at this stage, which if you're in survival, there could be a number of ways that you'll do that. For us in creative, it's pretty simple. We simply place them down, obviously. We'll place them in here, and you'll see pretty quickly they'll get their farmer jobs, which you can see because they've got their farmer's hat on, turn into farmers. All 4 of them have done that. And then we'll now start farming and breeding, and you will have yourself a villager breeder. So guys, that's it. That's the villager breeder built. If you did find this episode at all helpful, then please do leave a like. It's greatly appreciated. If you have any questions, then ask me down in the comments section, and I will do my best to answer them as fully as I can for you. And of course, if you like Minecraft tutorials and general Minecraft content, please do subscribe for more. But for today's episode, that is about it. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.